给金属级别错能着了本质三千这不就三界去当作见就能来强正本的大内就是大给金属级别错能级着了本质三千这不就
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Dunga mebe dewa dhamma drava juranje niran chadan nidan travi danyam la nebran juranje manam gadam nyambe samjan tamje dewa dhan deve jut Dembra Juranje, Dunga Dan Dunga Jen Judan, Trevor Juranje, Dunga Mebe, Deva Dan Manjura Jurus, Nyeren Chada, Nyedan, Trave, Danyum La Nebra Juranje.
一切众生具的极乐因，愿一切众生离苦及苦因，用众生不离无苦之妙乐，愿永离爱憎，常住平等舍。
May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
强者瓦当觉见小波当即是一人国先所罗伊给我众生大给介绍他们皆作被成就全部
其之供养顶礼以及供养忏悔语随其功德敦请其注释凡诸些为善业我积聚总为圆满菩提而回向。
这个南的现的觉本修，各所用作拉美错能来，前能上松的心你进去，道路龙就那些用些来拉美就给我这这的说，我们个人的玩着跟那人那们着，把的这也说啊。
供曼达，香水涂饰花朵铺满地，圣山四周日月为庄严。缘念佛刹以作供养故，愿诸众生受用清净土，景象三身圆满上师众，外内密三真如以供养，无生之财万物悉受矣。无上殊胜成就其至于唵咕雷乌德瓦达吉尼拉达曼达拉菩提萨埵哈。
Grant me the supreme realization, enlightenment.
三界南界三巴堂，落叶切达切达瓦，切中天门天巴耶，具见咕噜咕噜苏。
一切众生之悉会，根器不同而见之，共与不共大小乘，其请殷勤转法轮。
To the disposition and mental capacity of sentient beings.
感谢各位讲师，就是让先个各位来主人这边各级仁波切，就把能不能特别精进，请老姐去讲教师全部演都是没戏。莫lâm家切瓦因人瓦论觉特别直接成满没被拉玛坦巴能拉讲，特先觉得就是就我亲近了不然这都说多进成完的罗那罗他慢慢他跑成几点。 Garden some dance away Lama Shawa, Zaju Lama Yedam Chu, Sona Survan de Soda, Jushin Jelo, Chenzingada Dambado Samje, Kandurmang, Barden Lamra Shara, Tujiran, Tarvelam Dump, Shinyanam Lagashan, Zara Lada Lamam Je, Bodan, Jarjila, Shuji Shola, Jawa, Jebanam, Sanje Sora, Rabda Shishin, Devi Jujur. 대단 제지 담배 주님 바리안도 시키 농가다님 배송제 탐제지 전도 도절라나메 브라양 답으로 조베 산지지 군반담바 진내장 토브라차 디체도 손으로 남으로다 발라 줄진도 주부르지고 냠베 삼바 찬춘초도 레버서던데 셈브르쇼 대란데 강지 셈브르셰베 추네 어다 담배주 공바지베 중 어디니 다시버르시베 갑든데지 임바레
First, generate the mind, the heart of the bodhicitta, in order to benefit all other sentient beings. The sentient beings like that of the infinite as this space, like try to generate the heart of the bodhicitta, and in order to listen for the teachings of the Gongchik. So now we on the topic, we're here now listening for the Gongchik, and with the kind motivation.
首先呢，在我们开始之前呢，我们先来发心，也就是发菩提心，为了利益诸虚空有情众生。我们来这边听这个天颂公主师的著作《共起》，也就是正法一意，应该以此发心来听讲。
공지 세안데라 지당 촘된 잠지 용도와 대천 된 잠지 대인도 전에 텐데게 대천 등부 차상데 소름 돌도와이나 차자 전부 나댕게 나와드네 차상하지 눈도 같은데 지레 대인도 전에 공지 개념인데 차자 전부 나댕 세야 되는데 차용요레스
So when we talk about the Gongchik is a kind of the text, the teaching, which comprises all the teachings of the greater vehicle, the lesser vehicle, and so forth. And importantly, here it is condensed into 7 units. It has the 7 units of Vajra verses. And also, if it is further condensed, then it's condensed into the 5-fold path of Mahamudra.
当我们提到共起的时候，那共起的法教是包含了大乘、小乘的一切法教的。那共起这个150金刚语呢，也是包含着7个品的。那如果我们再一次浓缩的话，就可以把它浓缩到它讲的是大手印五之道。
만두바 매바든데 지 차용거요래 대인도 전에 드네 제좀 몰라게 공르게 드네 로마 냐마 렉셈범 세야지로와 드네 냐마 렉셈범라 다추 냠술렘베기 출 너르드네 송인도 전에 드네 차자치 뭔가 된데 송난도와 제좀 몰라게 그래서 말에서는 줄한테네 다단데 냠네 간디지 제와 있는 양 당보 섬제는 인지금스 되네 되게 제라 소소라니 예담게라 과거 투지 침보인 바금스 되네 소소게 지올라 자벨라마 금스 되네 동니 찾아 침보게 되는 게 돌아 되네 냠버샤스 대 탐제 사회기 제라 되네 뭐와 양타바지 제스 대인도 대야부지 하고와 제네 근데기 추 나데 양다부지 하고와 제네 그래 냠네 낭쇼스 다티엔디 간들 추 탐제기 닝보 존돌 되바데 자자치 뭔가 된스나 되지 송나와라
So here, when we talk about the fivefold path of Mahamudra, usually it is said that Drikung's fivefold path of Mahamudra. But if you look carefully and pay attention deeply, it is not just the Drikung's fivefold path of Mahamudra. It belongs to all the Kajipas fivefold path of Mahamudra. And why is that? Because the Milarepa has given the teaching to Nyima Leksebum, his direct disciple. So when he asks Milarepa, how can we practice, which comprises all the teachings of the greater and lesser vehicle and so forth. That time, Milarepa instructed him that if you want to practice the whole in one, then you should practice first compassionate mind, which is based for the benefit of all other sentient beings. And then after that, one should practice the yidam, the deity, that taking oneself as the kind of the compassionate one, that is the Avalokiteshvara, Tujichimbo. So the compassionate one you have to practice. And also one's crown, one should practice, visualize one's own root guru. And at the same time, one should practice the emptiness, the Mahamudra. And in the end, one should also make a dedication, all this practice. So these 5 points are very important. So what Jisimilarapa stated is that if all the essence of the teachings of Dhamma contains, then it is included in this fivefold path of Mahamudra. Last one.
当我们提到说大手印五之道的时候，一般人都会联想到这是直供噶举的大手印五之道。但是如果说我们仔细看的话，其实这个不只是直供噶举的，而是一切噶举派的大手印五之道。为什么这么样讲呢？当时在弥勒如巴祖师在世的时候，他有一个弟子叫Nimandesepo，那他就问弥勒如巴祖师要如何修行的时候如何结合同整这个大乘、小乘、金刚乘等等。那弥勒如巴祖师就回答他，应该先修对众生升起悲心，这是第一个部分，然后再来修本尊法，也就是大悲护主观世音菩萨再来观想顶上呢是由自己的根本上师，那在第4个是修空性，也就是大手印，最后再回向，所以这5个部分是很重要的。那么如果说我们要讲到说一切佛法的法教呢，那么就全包含在这个大手印五之道当中，就是5个部分。所以呢，我想看见的意思是说，这个并不只是直供噶举的，是普用在噶举派的修行。
gombe ke jamba se te ten gyo ten chu nga den jik tere tene tena shin tu tandan de gongchi ge chom ta nga ba ro sangha ge chom ta sangha ge chom ge nang la nga zo nga den ge nang ne yedam ge la se ya nga den ni ba de yedam ge la ro de je du za ne yedam ge la gombe ge jamba gomtang kan de shin gom gu yo ba yedam ge la gombe ge la nazo tane minji ge wang kan de shu gu yo ba tane tena shin du minji ge wang shu tena shin lam jeram dang zoram la so ba gom tane tende ge gombar chewe ge la yin ne dang de zo kan de ma da ten zo go de shi tra de tane liu nga ba ge song yu za ne tane nga den ge na ne ni ba yedam ge la se ya de liu nga be tane ten je ba do da tane ji cha yung gu yo ba de ju na na.
Last one. So like this, Pamodrupa has also instructed to Jiten Sungin that the fivefold path of Mahamudra is the essence practice or teaching of the masters. And then thereafter, Jiten Sungin also keep practicing and teaching the fivefold path of Mahamudra. So here, when we talk about the Gongchik, then when we talk about the Gongchik is not other than these fivefold path of Mahamudra. So all the fivefold path of Mahamudra were included here in this Gongchik. And how it is included is, for example, here now, right now, we are talking about the Vajra verses of the Bodhisattva vows. This vows shows the like kind of the practice of the bodhicitta. And then the fifth Vajra verses, like of the mantra practice, it shows that secret mantra practice. It shows about the Idam practice or deity practice, and how it is practiced, and how to receive the empowerment, and how to be made oneself as a ripening for the ripening, just to make oneself as a conducive factor for receiving the teachings and all so on is stated in the fifth Vajra verses of the vital points of vows of the secret mantra.
Yeah.
那么这个接下来呢，帕蒙族巴祖师也如此的教导他的弟子吉天松公。那么说到大手印无之道是所有这个上师的这个法教，那吉天松公之后就持续的修持大手印无之道。所以当我们讲到所谓的共齐呢，其实共齐就是讲的就是大手印无之道。为什么说如此包含呢？就讲到说我们菩萨戒好了，菩提心这个部分呢，讲指的是以菩提心为主。那这个在第5记里面提到说，我们如何修持本尊法，如何得到灌顶，如何让自己成为一个合适修法的法器，以便来接受密法等等，有这样子的一个描述。
산이 다금 집에 촌나 송는 거 요래 대인도 장에 다금 집에 촌 되게 난저 추 나댕게 나네 라멘 줄 어디 조치는 되는 송 나와도 근데 제일 차인 거 요래 대인도 장에 되네 나댕난 숨바 라멘 줄때 다금 집에 촌 같은 송 잡았는데 지레스.
And like the sixth Vajra verses, the unit of the sixth Vajra verses, which is based on the vital point of view, meditation, and conduct. So it shows about how the view, meditation, and conduct is done. And here we have to focus on the authentic master, and also at the same time understanding of these three view, meditation, and conduct, who can instruct directly by the masters, who has like the authentic master, and at the same time the student or the disciple, who is the authentic disciples. And when you practice this one, and this is known as the third point, that is the lamineljo, the yoga charya, means like guru yoga practice. So we have the first, second, and now this is this unit shows the guru yoga.
那么在第6个偈颂讲到，就是说如何修持渐修行，如何来禅修。那首先我们要找到一个具德的上师，再加上他所给我们指导的渐修行依法而 修持，然后再把自己变成一个具格的这个弟子或是学生。那在这边呢，主要的就是修持上师瑜伽，所以到这边为止呢，已经有大手印五知道的第一部分，发起悲心，修本尊法，然后再来就是上师瑜伽。
텐데기 충구르숨기 충렘 충구르숨기 당해봐 따뜻한 소거대 소는도 자네 근데 충구르숨기 죄자 힘보대 찾아침보 차용구요래 텐데인 비좀생 지그래 근데 디나신도 찾아침보세야 돼요 텐데를 로스 주바지 말해 텐데를 선내고 술도 수지샤네 근데 찾아침보세야지 파카가체네 텐데지 요마와 텐도 자네 로건 루드게 tenen diji sonda wa kase tsawa shirab nangla uma umegi yung nangla tendir ma to tongni seyaji yomares tongni pa shane ya dele shendo chirbe tendir seyaji yomares tendu zane tongdang tendir seyade tongni da tendir seyade kochi nganzo nawa kunzuge chane samotang yung zane tendir sene mengta yung yore ko jigi jigla tembe rangshin yinba 디 ngogola sanu tangyo zane tongni chaja chenpo sege yore tundo tendir dan chaja chenpo tunda jigwa yingyo zane tene tendir chomdang chungkuru chomnigo tegi tene nga dengi nane zogo tene chaja chenpo de sungo yu so tene jigi sungbare.
And the fourth one, the Chaja Chenpo is here. It is presented by the first unit of the Vajra verses and the second unit of the Vajra verses. That is the first training develop, the vital points of training develop Dharma, and the vital point of the dependent factors of these two Vajra verses. Then, like for example, when we talked about the training develop, the Vajra verses of the training develop Dharma, it shows the 84,000 teachings of the Buddha and it talks about the three times the training develop, three kind of training develop Dharma. So what are the essence of the three kind of training develop Dharma? That's first, second, and third training develop Dharma. The essence of these three training of develop Dharma is actually the dependent arising, dependent factor, and it's a Mahamudra. And as it was stated by the Nagarjuna, that there is no other the dependent factor than the emptiness. So when we talk about emptiness in terms of the conventional truth, then it is known as the tender, or it's known as the the dependent factor. But whereas when we talk about ultimate or absolute truth, it's known as the emptiness. So therefore, these teachings, whatever, whether it's dependent factor or emptiness, it's actually talking about the Mahamudra, the great Mahamudra. Last one.
那大手印的五知道的第四个部分，大手印呢，则是在这个共期的第一品跟第二品，就是法轮品跟缘起品里面。我们知道释迦牟尼佛转法轮，他所转的是包含有84000种法门，在这个三转法轮，它主要的精要的意义是在哪里？主要就是讲缘起的。那这个也是在大手印里面提到的。在龙树菩萨归纳这个佛法讲的主要就把它归纳成缘起跟性空。从相对意义来讲呢，我们是讲的是缘起的，但是以就近意义来讲，我们却是讲的是性空的。那当我们提到缘起性空呢，这就是大手印所讲的。
덴도 좀 림바데기 가르송 요래 센데 찾아쟁보 나den게 나네 근데 호와세도 소용 요래 제다변은 지 호외 거기 깨자 된데데 산이 좀 현단한 레용 그래데 얘는 좀 호와 제용도 전에 오늘게 호와 파르도백 호와 양답에 제우데 가르스나 산제의 공방인도 전에 되네 다다는 제우 산제 땜바 되게 되는 뭐와대 소용구요래 송구요 간사나 뭐왜 따지 제출 뭐와 양다바든지 지 중송아이나 딘 제우 산제의 공방인도 전에 되네 제우기 차네 되네 뭐와대 산제의 사서야다 좀 nim바되게 되는 땡구요 송발에
And now the fifth fold of the Vajra, the fivefold path of Mahamudra, is that the dedication. And how the dedication is shown is that like from the unit part of the fruition, the vital point of fruition. This unit of Vajra verses shows that the fruition, that's the dedication. How it is shown is that, so we have talked about here in the Gongtik, we talk about the vows, and here also we need to talk about the fruit. And this fruit, for example, the ultimate fruit, the ultimate fruition, the perfect fruition is that the state of Buddhahood. And this state of Buddhahood is shown by the 7 Vajra verses of fruition. So what it means is that when you are doing the dedication, the ultimate dedication is done and happen only when you become a Buddha. So therefore, the 7 Vajra verses of the fruition shows the dedication. So now we have all the fivefold of Mahamudra. So this is how the whole teachings shows or presents the fivefold path of Mahamudra.
那么大手印第5个部分，第5支就是回向支呢，在这个供期的第7品，就是果位品里面有讲到，一开始从这个受戒、持戒到最后的果报或者是果位。那我们知道修行究竟的果位就是佛果，那这个在第7品里面提到的。当我们做回向的时候，我们是最就近的回向就是成佛，那这个也就是第7品所讲到的。那所以这个就是这个从到了这边，我们看到整个供期所讲的法教是包含的大手印5支道的5支，也就是慈悲、菩提心、本尊、上师瑜伽、大手印跟回向。
제가 니버도 소다르고 요래. 근데 인도잖아요. 소소다르바서야 돼요. chanchu sembe nyamlen layang pe khe chembore o tende indu chane sothar de changsem ge de keksar da phongde de na jen de sangha nyamlen chenge yidam ge la gon ken da china yang sangha de khe chembore chujum de khe chembore bana sothar do ma de indu sanjing ga sangha chom ge le yung yore sangha la de chujum me kami yin so yung yore chujum charwa yina de ha rup tu ma re so yore ti che du chane de ji nga dengenane yedamge lai nyamlen layang sutim degi keksel tu yore pondon tu yore dena jendo tene lamen nejurji nyamlen nawai yang lamen nejurgi nyamlen tela keksel cheba na pondon bra cheba 탐제데 소소 다르베게 tene sutim deyin sungare tende indu zane 소다르데 라멘 nejurgi keksel na pondon yang chayung yoro tene dena jendo 제주 투모 마인바 이제 된 송고 가르 송고 요래서나 착체인데 수tim이 내 찍어 인 송고요래 가정 흠마에 깨진 돌도 쉬인바 착체에서도 배자 첨부 지당 수tim서도 전에 거지 지당 노멀 개념 랑시 먼저 지다 투몽 개념인데 지라 섬 당기로 만지 된 송고 배 착체인당 내가 찍어 인 송도 전에 뭐다 소소다르바티 지 찾아진 분념는 그냥 객실 본도 차용 거요래 테네테나 아신도 소소 다르바데 수tim게 객세당 다른데 모웨게 객세당 본도야 차용 거요래 제단 변화되네 수tim당 덴바이나 근데 디 돕지 배는 개념 수준 넘버 타고 된den게 개수 수준 넘버 타고 된den게 개long 수준 넘버 타고 된den게 근데 지 임바이나 근데 뭐는 가르자면 누구래송도 원함지 대시도 전에 근데 홍어외기 객설당 동동양 소다르의 자용을 대인자 근데 공진난 게좀 단다 숨바데 근데 중앙된 용족이 객설당 본도 오다 되지 자용을 사례 오다 되게 먼저 공지 있어야 돼 나된 나라는 도술 놀들로 오지 되지래
And also, like in the Gongtik, there is the unit of the individual vows, the unit of the individual vows, and it is stated that it becomes itself as a foundation for all other the practices. For example, the fivefold path of Mahamudra, it becomes the kind of the foundation for the fivefold path of Mahamudra. And how it becomes is like this. For example, like when you want to receive the bodhicitta or have to practice the bodhicitta, then you have to have the vows of the individual vows. And Jiten Sumgin has also stated that, and in order to have the bodhisattva vows, then, and also like the individual vow is very important. At the same time, in order to receive the mantra vows, also it's very important. And even when you are practicing the Yidam, this individual vow is very important. It's required there in order to solve the path or in order to protect yourself. And even for the Laminajo, the deity practice also, it is good. It serves as the protection for the practice. So here in this point, one of the most important, one is unique thing is that what Jiten Sumgin said is, as we have also stated last time for briefly about this, is that the point is that the Mahamudra and the vows are not other than each other. So they are same. So Jiten Sumgin gave same importance to the vows as he has given to the Mahamudra. And also in the, like, when you talk about the, like, dedication also, it serves as a foundation for the dedication and also this protect the dedications. So for example, we have a thing like a novice and novice monk and monk. If we have a very good condition of the practice of the vows, then whatever they aspire, that is possible. And it is stated that the whatever they aspire, if you practice, if you preserve that vows, individual vows, then it is stated that you could able to fulfill your wishes. Lasso.
那么在共期我们才刚讲完不久，就是别解脱戒。那他在这一品里面提到说，这个戒律是所有法教的根本，也是大手印无之道的根本。那我们要有菩提心，首先必先要受这个别解脱戒。那吉天松公祖师也讲到说，要受菩萨戒呢，这个别解脱戒的基础是很重要的，甚至后来的受密正戒以及修本尊法，这些这个别解脱戒都是很重要的，因为它可以帮助保护我们自己以及保护我们的修持。所以所以在这边来讲说，这个别解脱戒其实是很重要、很根本的。那上次我们有很简短的提到，就是我们讲到大手印的这个根本就是戒律。所以当我们讲到说大手印的时候，其实我们是在阐述这个戒律的。那我们再加上呢回向之，就是等于保护我们自己以及保护我们的修行。不管是说比丘也好，沙弥也好，如果说 他们有一些对修行的祈愿的话，如果说有戒律，那么这样有这个一切的发愿都能够以戒律为根本，能够好好持戒，那他们就能够满愿。
nyomongba chen mayimbe tongwa sa tongwa desen ka yin ro chin de shenang yung yore nyomong chen ge tongwa nyomong chen mayimbe tongwa ta ti indu chane chik tanzo la nyomong chen ge tongwa sendu ndo cha shedang timu dan rewe ge tongwa tanzo la nyomong chen ge tongwa se yore ya te mayimbe ge ji tenshi meba tang tene meshe ba tang ha ma wala so ba tendela tene chungwe pa me bala tene chungwe ke tonga tenzola nyomong che mayimbe tonga sana tendeta reshen nange yongde yore tende zane tonga tala ka ni tene ji che songare ta tangdan dene je den songo kar songo yore sana tonga kanjin da ji ina ya zawe tonga ina ya da yanla gi niba ina ya da tonga rik kanjin da ji ina ya nyomong ba chen mayimba nyomong ba ndecha dan jewa shedang dan jewa timudan derwa ta tisumbu kanongdang derwege tongwaji yingogro madobe tenzo sumdan derwa mebe tongwaji yongsi mares ti indu zane ngazo tongwa yongya ki ju zode ta ndecha shedang timuk sumbu de tu yong yores ti chidu zane tu sumbu de pa pongwar chebalan bezun chegure ti pongto songwa yina teni tongwa kanya yong mares tende indu tongwa tamche de nyomong badan derware sana de sombare
Now we have the fifth Vajra verses, the vital point of Bodhisattva vows. The
菩提心
transgression without affliction is
要
impossible.
品第5记。
Why did Lord Jiten Sumgin stated here is that when you talk about the Bodhisattva vow, like there comes actually, it talks about the root causes and the branches or the subdivision of that. And here one of the scholars, the Indian scholar, the masters, Chandra Gomi, stated four kind of the vows, 4 kind of downfalls, sorry. And like the 4 kind of vows. And also there is a 246, when it is the 4 kind of vows is the root one, and 246 is the kind of the branches or the sub,
46 only 46
46 last one. Only 46. 4 is the main vows, and the 46 is the sub vows. And all together, when we talk about there are actually 246 Yoruba. Okay, so then only 46 there altogether. So within this 46, they are divided into 2 categories. That is, one is the effective and one is non-effective. So effective in the sense here, when all these downfalls, which were related with the like hatred and attachment, and this is taken as the afflictive downfalls, and the rest of the other downfalls, like which is not related with the attachment and hatred. For example, if you are normally doing something like just without paying attention, like naturally we commit mistakes. These are all taken into the account of the like non-afflictive downfalls. But whereas the Jiten Sumgyen stated that whatever the downfalls, it has to be included into these 3 poisons. It should be all these downfalls were actually have a connections with the 3 poisons, especially with the ignorance. So therefore, we have to eradicate, we have to give up these 3 kind of downfalls, these 3 kind of poisons. Otherwise, then there is no like a downfall other than these 3, which is not having the connections with these 3 poisons. So therefore, what the usually people or the scholars, they said afflicted downfall and non-afflicted is not possible. So therefore, what he said is transgression without affliction is not possible. So therefore, whatever the downfalls, it has to be the afflicted downfalls, because this all can have a connections with the ignorance. Last one.
那么为什么在这个第5季无烦恼者无堕罪可成？为什么吉天松公祖师在讲菩萨戒的时候提到这点呢？因为戒律一般是有那个根本戒跟支戒。那在印度的学者 Chandra Komi 讲到说犯戒有这个4种情况，这个主要是有4个根本戒跟46个支戒。在这个这些戒律总共46个戒律当中呢，我们的所有的违犯呢，我们有些戒律是可以分成性戒的，就是绝对不可以犯的，杀盗等等。然后有一些是遮戒的，就是如果你做了这个事情的话，它就比较容易违犯其他的戒律，比如说像喝酒一般。那么吉天松公祖师的讲法是说，这一切的戒律的违犯呢，这些过犯都是由我们的贪嗔痴三毒而来的。那他们跟三毒，特别是无明是有关的。所以呢，犯戒就是犯戒，不是说你犯的有些是可以的，有些是不可以的，绝对不可以的。那因为这些违犯的戒律都是从这个无明而来的，所以呢，就算是说，如果说用我们中国人讲法，可能就是这种性戒的这个违犯了。因为根本来讲，都是因为有无明而来有这些戒律的违犯的。
디도라 라바 송야라양 귀샤비양 예바체 제데 히나양 바메베 제왕도 출송아 베나 창라 소베게 라즈 송아다고 야나 조봉님베 제왕도 출송아다고 다 텐데지 종송아이나 양고 동안 용야기 고직 창로요 대인자네 고숨바데 바메 세야데레 근데 고 예바데 가르스나 다이 도선도 삽삽도 제바 이나양 당보되네 동화 뭐시 니바 대송야라 귀샵유 숨바드네 지다 잡잡로지 제네 바예반로지 제바 이나양 랑기 줄라 녀몬반 되차시다 뜨무드베 검지슈 전부지 윤켄지이나 양 디왕기 레간난 주지 차용부요 대인도자네 녀몬반 마와 세데레 대제도 되는 동화지 중화이나 디 고지보다 때네 동화대 연구열에 디인도 전에 동화 용화 중화대 녀몽바당 저와 땡땡 차대 같은지 제도열 디인도 전에 지된 송공기 녀몽지 많이 동화 용 시그마레 세다 텐소톤에 드는 사모당고 유사래
So the reason why that the vows, the bodhisattva vows, the bodhicitta, the like kind of like downfall of the bodhicitta's vow is related, deeply related with the afflictive emotion is that it has three doors, like Jiten Sumin stated there. Goshirwala, 3 doors, or 4 doors. Sorry, 4 doors. It has 4 doors. The first is the ignorant, not knowing what is to be practiced, what is to be protected, and what is to be accomplished, and what is to be avoided. So not knowing these, then through this door one can have the downfall of the bodhisattva's vows. If you know what is to be practiced and what is to be accumulated or what is to be abandoned, then there shouldn't be any problem. But somehow, because of not knowing these, so this we commit the downfalls for the bodhisattva vows, and it's also related with the afflictive emotions. And second one is that even though if you know about what is to be practiced and what is to be abandoned and what is to be accomplished, but somehow there is no respect or like dignity for this kind of vows, and this can also lead to the afflictive emotions. And the third one is, though you understand and you have respect for, and you give the respect and dignity for you give the dignity for the vows, but somehow you have not kind of awareness to practice that. If you have no awareness of practice, the attention or awareness is not there, then this will also lead to somehow to the afflictive emotions. Because, for example, if you're having because it becomes like when you are intoxicated by the wine, or if you are misled by the friends who are misleading you. So then this is how also come under the category of afflictive emotions, or ignorance. And the fourth one is that though you have a respect, though you know all the practice part, and also you have this kind of awareness, but somehow one's own ignorant in the sense, one's own attachment and anger or hatred becomes so powerful there, it's very strong there. So this can lead you to the downfall of the bodhisattva vows. So therefore, these 4 conditions, these four doors are the one which can lead you to the downfall of the bodhisattva vows. So therefore, since these 4 are related with all the afflictive emotions or ignorance, so that's why the Lord Jesus stated that transgression without affliction is impossible.
那这为什么吉天松公祖师在这边讲说这个犯戒跟那个无明这个过犯有什么关联呢？那么这个当我们受持菩萨戒的只是有所违犯的话，这其实就是我们菩提心这个过犯的原因何在？我们他提到的说，我们的烦恼这个让我们违犯的这种烦恼有4个根本的原因。第一个就是无知无明，我们不知道如何修法，要如何保护，如何舍弃，如何避免，以及如何成就。如何保护我们的修持，如何要舍弃什么东西，要如何避免麻烦呢？会有什么样的结果？那因为我们自己的无明，就会容易违犯的菩萨戒律，这个只是因为我们的烦恼而来的。第二个部分，第二个门呢，如果说对这些戒律没有说有相当的尊重的话，也会容易违犯，也是因为我们的烦恼而引起的。第3个呢，如果说我们有了这个对戒的尊重，那但是没有足够的修持的觉知的话，也会导致这种烦恼。比如说，不管是我们喝醉酒的时候，或者是说被朋友所误导了， 那么这些都是由我无明而来的。那第4个门呢，就是好，现在有了尊重呢，也依法修持，也有这个觉知，但是因为自己根本上的这种无明强盛的这种贪嗔痴3毒呢，那就导向自己对于菩萨戒的这种违犯，所以这个4种原因可以造成这个戒律的这个违犯。这些都是来自于我们的烦恼的，所以在这边讲到说，无烦恼者无堕罪可成。如果不是我们的烦恼，我们就不会违犯戒律，也不会堕罪的。第6戒，无有罪过不说为恶业。
That do not become false are not permitted. So what it says here is when you talk about the 3 kind of the vows. For example, when you talk about the individual vows, it seems to be like it's very difficult to practice because it objects or it stops doing abstraining from many misdeeds, refraining you from doing some misdeeds and all this. Then there is a like kind of objection to do so these and that and all this. And when we talk about like a bodhisattva's vows, and sometimes it is little bit open up or little more free compared to the individual vows. And some people say that like accept the killings, whereas some of the vows are at almost like permissible, or it is possible to like kind of permit it, like for example having a kind of stealing and also having like sexual misconduct and so forth in view of benefiting other sentient beings. It is permissible, and like those, there are many things stated there. But somehow Lord Jigten stated that if that is the non-virtuous actions, whether it is a bodhisattva's in terms of the bodhisattva's vows or in terms of the individual vows, it's all same, because you are committing the same mistake. You're doing the same mistake, and there is no differences between the two, because when you commit a mistake, then there is no like kind of chance that you can do you can benefit other beings, because it is actually deeply rooted with the ignorance. So therefore, when you're doing with the ignorance, there is no such possibility that you can able to benefit other sentient beings. Therefore, whether it is in terms of the bodhisattva's vow, it is also not permissible, which is not permissible in the like individual vow. If it is not permitted in the individual vow, the same thing is there in the bodhisattva's vows. It's also not permissible, because the ignorant means ignorance. So whether it does in the individual vows or the bodhisattva vows, it does the same thing, and it's related with the ignorance. So therefore, what he stated was non-virtues that do not become false.
第6戒，无有罪过不说为恶业。当我们讲到说3层戒律、别解脱戒、菩萨戒以及密乘戒的话，那么一般人会觉得说别解脱戒是最不易修持的，因为他讲的很具体，那么要我们放下许多的这个过犯跟这个不当的行为。那但是同样的是呢，在菩萨戒似乎比较开放，比较自由一点。比如说在某种条件情况下， 这个犯戒是可以开许的，比如说杀戒也好，偷盗也好，邪淫的也好，如果是为了利益其他众生的话，这样是可以的。一般人有这样子的讲法，但是吉田松公提到说，所谓的不善行就是不善，无论是别解脱戒的定义或者是菩萨戒的定义都是一样的，没有其他的借口，不可能真正的利他。因为这些戒律的违犯主要是来自于我们的这个无明而来的，所以既然它来自于无明，它就不可能真正的确实得到利益到他人。所以呢，别解脱戒不能犯的事，那在菩萨戒也一样不能违犯，没有说一个可以做，一个不可以做的，因为他们的根本之所以会有违犯，都是来自于无明，也因为无明的缘故，所做的所行的也不可能真正的利益到其他人，所以都是不应该要违犯的。所以在第六纪里面讲到说，无有罪过不说为恶业。违犯的就是违犯，就是一个恶业，没有说他这样做是可以没有惡業的，这个意思吧。
이나야 심진 직소 제제와 이르잖아요. 될 때는 저 동해 마음보다 용화대 출한게 조금 제투구나. 근데 아젠도 제스 텐데 송바레 마도베 출한데네 옌게 튼도 소제와 있는 텔레 니바 연구 말에 텐데 연장 출한 소제 쉬시베 되 말에 에스티인도잖아요. 낭세게 찌대 된다라야 출한 제부텔라 조금 투구나. 다시는 다셔스 어다 텐데기 된다 임고래 송바레 텐데잖아요. 니밤면 좀 메게 나오면 세다 텐소토나서는 당고 서래.
So now here the complement for the like the Vajra verses 6. Usually it's a kind of controversy here, and like the Shantadeva, Acharya Shantideva. He stated in his like Bodhicharya Avatara, in one of the contexts, what it states is somehow, which is not permissible during the like kind of the individual vows, are also permitted here in this context. So that means some of the vows were permitted. So here in this context, there are two different kind of views coming, and some of the scholars, even in Tibet, they say that. So some of the like non-virtuous actions are committed in order to benefit other sentient beings, in order to help other sentient beings. It is permissible. But whereas the definition for this one is then what they said is those scholars said that you don't have the downfalls, even if you practice, because in the Bodhisattva's vows, it is permissible. So since it is permissible, you can do that. And there's no downfalls. But whereas Lord Jigten Sungin stated that it doesn't mean that you don't have the downfalls. You equally have the downfalls. If you are doing bad thing, that means you have to face the consequences. The consequences is there, whether you do it at the individual vows or whether you do it at the Bodhisattva vows. But what the difference is that the Jigten Sungin stressed is that it depends upon whether you could able to bear the consequences or not. This is what it means by the Shantideva. If you could able to bear the pain, if you could able to bear the consequences of the wrongdoing or misdoing or whatever, then you can do that. You are allowed to do. So if you could bear that. So what he says is that if you committed such kind of causes and conditions, then the consequences is bound to follow up. So therefore, it doesn't mean that if you do this, commit mistakes, there's no kind of downfall. It doesn't mean that. It means that whether you are able to bear the consequences or not, this is what Lord Jigten stated, that even if you are like kind of a higher state and you are committing mistakes, and you are bound to face the consequences. The consequences is there. Therefore, like what Jiten Swami stated is, we should be very careful about doing the like benefiting other beings in terms of the like kind of consequences, in terms of these kind of the vows. That's all.
那关于这一点第6计呢，无有罪过不说为恶业，这边是有一些学者上有一些争议的。比如说在吉天菩萨的入菩萨行论里面有提到，在别解脱界不允许者，我为了菩萨的发心是可以做的。那关于这一点有2派不同的看法，一派是讲说，如果为了以利他的原因来行一些不善行，这是可以做的。但是根本上呢，吉天颂公只是讲说，一种是讲法是说有过犯，一种是讲法是没有过犯的。但吉天颂公讲述的看法是，不是说没有过犯，只凡是你造作的这些因，就会有一些果，就会有相对的果。那既然违犯了戒律，自然就会有它的过犯。那至于你能不能做，要不要做，端看你自己是不是能够忍受这个果报。如果可以你就可以去做。那吉天颂公祖师是这样子来阐述这个吉天菩萨在入菩萨行论里面提到的这个违犯戒的问题。他认为有因必有果，并不是说你犯戒就没有过犯。那即使你是为了利他的原因犯戒，还是会有他的过犯，也有他的果报的。但是主要在看你自己是不是能够忍受，能够接受这个果报。所以我们要做事情的时候要很小心，不能说光以利他的名，然后对于戒律有所违犯。我们还是要看自己有没有办法承受这个结果果报的。
산재이다 chanchu samba imbe kabruwa chungpon dege hakwane ta tapshi pe mangbo tablam jamanda tene kesi pe na mendegi nge roba mingabja tendo ji se jaba ina ndodo samani pe chanchu samba janjang de tiba chimbu kansa tene sengen korang maung bala pe dunghe cheme ba ji nyongsa re sambe thone ko maung begin degu dunghe le jobya ge chedo tene chungpon ge 단단히 매 셰단지 매 마롱와데 세샤바르와 세샤바데 장주 선방압제도 소자바르다 기저 도도시나 따디 링지 되게 돌아 근데 벽인 개발신다게 선동당당 직당 예된 송고 도섬 셰단이 뜻이 카가 차용 거예요 벽인 개발 남지 가르송 거를 saying 전에 된대게 소제자와 대 장주 선방압제 담바 잡 Then you say out there, call a pen, come on, but do him on to say, was the Sane, the leg give a cigarette, under Donna, Tablan cave, Jibares, the Indu, the Miguel Mares. Hella tene, then be carva mambu cho, sa to Bares. Conge, to sa suares, din the she jagger, that is Zamji. Then Jadin Songo get paper to the she jibare. chanchu samba ngabja thamba so chabare tanda me marong ate maung begi dumele chabare tiru samata tende ge nibala tene chanchu samba khong ge chope mangbo sa sungare te bordun reshe chibare tan jidin songung ge tige thola khare songu yoresana deshe sarbaji keba sheng ma songa je khare songu yoresana ti kapsu chawa zambo cheba tang 자와 님바 제반이 이와 체고래 송거래 장주 선방갑자 잡아도 빼서는 소 자체모 사비 레가지래 근데 메마롱와데 마옹버게 둥해 만용의 체도 텐데기 차네 빼 개월랍 침부래 이나양 밑에 세셔 버려왔어 소제 버려왔어 되게 차네 메게버레스 어떤 뒤도 전에 탑란 케백이 쬐바당 메게와니 카가이와 체브레스 간스는 콘존이는 제우 소소소소 요래 송말에 탑란 케벤 제우 되기 가르바 망보고 초사 송말에 메게웨긴 제우 되기 아니 단다 대변 첨보데 냐와라 제와랑 로주다와 단다 장주 선바 첨보데 대나지 산지 좀 된데 음버 줘봐 상제베 값수
샤블라 싱게 되는 차바던데 숨노에 놀주요와 대인도 전에 되네 개와든 메개와데 데부 소소 도는 대시자고레스 디체자 탐게 줄라 메개 요마이 세 대송래
신기 설마 신기가 우리 산지기 샵라
신감보던데 차요지 신감보던데 차송 같은데 샤블라 수로와
원래 오래전에서
되게 되는 레기 남인 데부 타마인 산지 코르기 송도와 미나 메테세바레스 딘 데부 타마인 송마데
So like the 7 devotional verses, in skillful conduct, there cannot be non-virtues. So like it is stated that like in the Bodhisattva's practice, there are like kind of some kind of non-virtuous activities were permissible, and even in the like, for example, like with the skillful means of benefiting other sentient beings. Even in the sutra, one of the contexts there, and during the time where the Buddha was in the time of the Bodhisattvas, and when they are on the way to the ocean to get the jewels or the diamonds, and there are about 500 businessmen together, all are Bodhisattvas. And at the same time, there is one person known as the black person, so who also has the kind of spears, like who hold the spear. And at that time, when they went to for the business of getting the jewel, and all the other the 500 businessmen, they have a very good amount of the jewelry. But at the same time, this person, the black guy, he didn't have that much. Then what he thought about is to try to kill the other 500 business person and take all the jewelries, or for himself. So that time, the Buddha also there in the form of one of the Bodhisattva, he came to know that person's intention, the bad intention. And he thought that if you kill this bodhisattvas, 500 bodhisattvas, the businessman, this person, the black guy, would be accumulating a lot of demerits, and he will be being born in the hell realm. And for thousands of kalpas, aeons, he would be suffering in the like hell beings. So therefore, it's better I can kill this guy and have this person not to commit this kind of mistakes. So this is actually in view of benefiting other sentient beings. He did that, and he killed that person, and he did that. So whereas there's some other scholars in Tibet, and also from the scholars in India, they stated that up to here, and they said this is a good deeds and this is virtuous deeds, and they don't explain after that. And what the Jiten Sumit stated is that though we have to differentiate between the virtues and non-virtues there. And what the Jiten Sumit said is, yes, up to here, his intention is good, but he did all this non-virtues with the kind intention, with the like altruistic intention, but somehow he also did the non-virtuous deeds, and he has to face the consequences. And later, therefore, because of that, even the Buddha has to face the consequences. For example, there is the wood, the dry wood, whereon Buddha has stepped his feet, and he got a sore on the feet. And at that time, Buddha said that, so this is because of my consequences, because I did the mistake that time. So even what he means is the Buddha has to face the consequences. Why not the Bodhisattva? This is what exactly it means here. So therefore, the specialty here with the Jiten Sumgin is that, so if you are with a Bodhisattva or not, doesn't matter. If you are making a mistake, then it's a mistake. And if you're committing a non-virtuous, then it's non-virtuous. So therefore, you have to differentiate between virtuous and non-virtuous together here. That's all.
那这个第7计善巧行持则无有恶业，有人有这样子的讲法，提到说菩萨行呢，有时候可以行不善行，主要是以他们的善巧的方式来利众的。在经典里面有提到说，佛陀的前世有一世是在化身成这个商贾，那在这个船上有500个菩萨所化身的这个商人要去买卖珠宝，但是在那个船上有一个强盗，他手上有武器，他看到这个当他们到达目的地，每个人拿到许多珠宝了之后呢，他这一个人是没有钱的，所以他内心就有一种想法，就是那我不如把他们给杀掉了，夺取他们的珠宝等等。那佛陀当时呢已经知道说这个强盗的这个意念，而想到说，如果他杀了这500个商人，表面上是商人，那么实际上他们是菩萨的转世，那么这一个强盗将永远堕在地狱道，要很久很久的时间才能够有可能脱离地狱的轮回。所以释迦牟尼佛当时为了要利益他，避免他造这么大的恶业，就把他杀掉了。所以有些印度或者西藏的学者呢，只讲到这一个部分，然后他们讲说这个是一个善行，因为他发心是善的。那吉天松公主是在这边曾经说，是善行没错，但是发心是善，但是我们也有不善的部分，我们要把它分清楚。所谓的善就是他的发心是善的，因为他是要为了利他的缘故。但是他的行为呢，把人杀掉，这还是不善行的。只要有这个造作，那必定有它的相对的结果。后来也讲到说，释迦牟尼佛当他成佛的那一世呢，有出现一些问题，我们讲过说他有，我们知道说他曾有头痛的问题。那刚刚这个的例子没有听得很清楚，是说脚上有什么问题。但是从这些例子让我们知道，即使今天我们成佛了，有一些业的果报成熟的时候，我们还是会遭受恶果的。那么所以呢，吉天松公主是要提醒我们，我们在造作行为的时候，应该要分善跟不善的部分。不是因为你的发心是善，就这个不会有这个，而你行业是不是善行的话，就不会有恶的果报，都会有的。所以我们自己必须要很清楚。
And the 8 Vajra verses, they are cases
有时自他相换亦成罪。
become a fault. So what it means is like when you are practicing the Dharma, usually sometimes people, we do a different kind of activities. We take the bodhisattva vows and we try to exchange oneself with others and take their like kind of demerits or their problem or their sickness to oneself and share one's own happiness and peace and to others. So what Jiten Sung will state here is that whatever we do, it has to be depend upon one's own like kind of capabilities, one's abilities with the time and one's own abilities. Otherwise, if you don't see how capable you are and what kind of capacity you have, if you don't do that, and sometimes it also becomes a fault. Why? Because, for example, like sometimes it becomes a fault. Why? Because, for example, if you have something like whatever you have, properties or whatever, you get saying that you are bodhisattvas, you receive the bodhisattva vows, now you're going to offer whatever you have. And what you did was you offer all the belongings and positions you have, but after sometimes you feel regret. And what happens is then, it becomes the opposite. Then rather than having the kind of benefit, it affects you. So because of that, what Jiten Sungmin stated is, whatever we do, we practice. First, we have to see how capable we are and up to which extent we could be able to do that and do these kind of things. Otherwise, like exchanging oneself with others becomes the problem. And in the same, that's why the Lord Jiten Sungmin stated that whatever you do, we have to do according to our own capacity, according to our own kind of the time, situation, and capacity. Otherwise, if you do this one, it is possible that it becomes the fault. That's all.
第8计，有时自他相换亦成罪。这边提到的是说，当我们修持佛法的时候，比如说受持菩萨戒，然后当有一个修行的方法是自他交换，把别人的这个疾病啊、罪业拿到自己身上，把自己的这个快乐跟他们分享。那吉田松公祖师对于这种样的情况，有这样子的看法。他的说法是，我们这个修行人应该要有自知之明，应该先了解到自己的能力，自己的限度极限到了哪里。好，今天你是一个菩萨，受持的菩萨戒。那如果说你看到别人这个很辛苦，那你把你自己的财产给了他们，但是后来你自己又后悔了，那你这样子做反而是不好的。所以要做事情之前呢，应该先了解自己的能力，那么量力而为，那知道自己可以做到什么程度，也要按照时机而做，要不然可能会有过患的。
So for that reason, like the Buddha has also stated in the Akashagarbha Sutra, and also like kind of the Lapakinti, which is the Sangra, Shiksha Sangra, it was stated there. It's like kind of protecting the small tree. Like, for example, if you protect this, when the tree is very small, we have to protect the tree. And in the near future, when the tree becomes bigger, then it's possible that it can give you the fruits and so forth, the results. So in the same way, when we are like kind of beginners, the individuals, when I practice, we are beginners, then first we need to protect our mind. And later on, when we become so powerful or strong enough, then it is possible that one could do the exchanging with others, your virtues or whatever. So therefore, it is stated that we should first protect our mind, then only when it becomes so strong with the time and situation, when you are like kind of well prepared, then you could be able to do these kind of activities, but not for the beginners.
所以在这边提到了，就是在过去佛陀也在阿卡什嘎瓦这个经典，以及Lapakinti Shendra 这边提到一个例子，就是当树还是一个小苗的时候，我们要做的事情就是要好好的保护它，让它能够成长茁壮。等到它真正的成长茁壮了之后，我们就可以享受它的果实了。所以相同的，以一个佛教徒来讲，修行者来讲，一个初学者很重要的是要保护我们的心，止心，然后透过这个修持的这个经验，慢慢自己已经有能力了，才来做这个自他交换。所以要做什么事情之前呢，我们应该要掂一掂自己的斤两，然后再量力而行。
되는 가서 코발이야 다리야 뒤에서 조그래서 공간 가서 좀 조그래서 다 근데 지금 선언 단계래.
这是吉田中公主师的看法。
되는 가서 야 다리야 뒤에서 고급 충충을 해서 거래. 다든지 지대 성으로 된데 말해서 장주 선발은 내가 제와 대다되는 것도 탈투고 말해서 말해. 강에서는 장주 선발이 유리 제발 전제래. 대란 감수 내가 가르치고서는 내가 내가 제와래. 내가 내가 써야 돼 매개월에 매개와서야 되게 대우 동해식 제용을 마도ben 대우 대화 거용 쓰기래. 스탠드 장주 선발은 내가 제와이나 내가 저기 말해서 이내야 지 장주 선발 쿠란 쪽은 거네. 네바 칭켄 등으로 화보도 제와 친구가 지선 증거했을 때 장주 선발 쿠란 쪽에 연대래. 대인도 티니보다 선은 만으로 지고에 백해진 거래서 대송발에.
Last one. Now the Vajra verses 9.
第9季伤害菩萨与安乐无缘。
One will not have a connection with happiness. Usually, what it stated here is that when you like have a connections with the bodhisattvas, usually in a like common understanding, people say that, or the scholars also they talk that it is good if you can have the right relationship with the bodhisattvas, that you can accumulate it and you can uplift your state of being, or the prosper yourself. But somehow, even if you couldn't do the good things or the virtues or noble things with the bodhisattvas, you should commit like a wrong action, or to at least to have a link, at least to have a relationship with the bodhisattvas through the non-virtuous acts. And what it will do, what it happens is that what will happen is that the bodhisattva will pray for you, aspire for you, since they have this kind of like motivation, altruistic motivation. Then because of that prayers and motivation, you can also to elevate it or uplift it for the like development or the flourishment. But whereas the Jitins and what they said is like, it's better to have some connections than to not have a connection at all with the bodhisattvas. Therefore, either it's a good connection or wrong mistake connection, or the non-virtuous connection. We have to at least have the connections. This is what the concept of the usually people think that. But whereas Lord Jigten stated that it is a great mistake to commit a mistake and have a relationship with the bodhisattvas. It is not possible to have a better life by committing a mistake and doing wrong things to the bodhisattvas. The bodhisattva may have attained himself because since he is a noble person, he might have a kind of a very altruistic mind. Even if we do bad thing for him, he may pray for us. But somehow, the consequences for committing bad things to the bodhisattvas, you have to have faced that consequences. And since you are committing such mistake to the such great masters or bodhisattvas, the consequences would be grave. It's a big consequences. So you have to face it. So therefore, we have to think about the committing the mistakes or consequently, the committing the non-virtuous deeds towards the bodhisattvas. So this is what the Lord Jigten said, state that.
所以这个伤害菩萨与安乐无缘。那么一般人的看法是，我们应该跟菩萨，或者是高修行的人呢，有一些善缘。那 这个有学者就是讲说，如果是跟这个菩萨有善因缘的话，当然可以帮助我们累积福德，也可以帮助他人。那可是有的时候我们可能对他们做一些不善的这个行为，那他们的看法是说，如果跟他们有缘的话，即使你对他们做出不好的事，那他们还是会继续为你加持的。
So, for that reason, the 10th Vajra verses, the result of virtue and non-virtue arise individually. So what it means here is, for example, if you like accumulate the causes of happiness, causes of happiness, and the consequences comes like a suffering. And if you accumulate the causes like non-virtues, and you have happiness, these two things are absolutely different. So therefore, whatever you committed, mistakes or non-virtues, you have to face the consequences. So therefore, it is stated that the result of virtue and non-virtue arise individually. So it will not miss the consequences. It will never miss their consequences. Whatever the causes you have committed, you have to face or you have to bear the consequences. That's all.
所以呢，或许说，因为我们对他们行不善行了，他还继续为我们加持，那自己认为，这些学者认为我们还是会有一些好的结果的。那么，但是这个吉天松公祖师并不是这样子讲的，他说过患就是过患。那如果说我们跟菩萨有善缘的话，不可能因为我们彼此之前有善缘，我们对他行不善的事情而自己能够安乐的。因为他们是菩萨，所以即使我们对他们行不善行，他们还是为我们祈祷祈求的。但是我们自己的恶行将会有相对的恶果。那不善行必定相伴着有不善果，更何况他们是菩萨，所以结果可能会很严重。所以吉天松公主是在这边的看法跟一般当时的学者的看法还是有差距的。第10季，善与恶之果报分别生，善这个恶的果报呢，那么一切所行必有其结果，苦善与不善各自出现，一切都会有相对应的结果的。第11季，菩提心者有忘无有失。
And what it means here is that, so sometimes when we are doing a practices of, preserving the vows of bodhisattva vows, but somehow because of the ignorant mind or the reflective emotion, sometimes we forgot about it, and we felt that we lost the bodhicitta, and we missed the bodhicitta. Whereas what the Lord Jesus stated is that even though because of these kind of conditions, you may be forgotten for the time being, but somehow the bodhicitta, once it is arising within you, will never be lost or never be diminished. So like with the time duration, it may again arise, come into you. So therefore, this is the power and this is the quality of the bodhicitta, that once you have generated within you, then it is permanently there. So therefore, one should, the practice of bodhicitta will never be deceive you. It will always be there in the like kind of form. It's embedded there and will arise. So therefore, we should strive for practicing the generation of bodhicitta. That's all.
那第11季呢，主要就是讲到菩提心者有忘无有失。那有些人有些看法呢，是讲说，当我们修持这个过程当中，虽然我们受的菩萨戒小心翼翼的要保持，但是有的时候，我们一来可能一时间忘记了，这些人以为在这个时候我们就忘失了菩提心。那吉天松公主师就讲说，虽然你一时间忘失了，但是菩提心的特质，它的功德就是你一旦升起，它就不会丢失。 所以因为菩提心是不欺瞒的，所以我们应该要好好的修持菩提心。今天讲到这边为止，那我们回向，那接下来就是星期五早上同一时间，就是7点25加州的时间，亚洲10点25。抱歉，今天机器有点状况，所以稍的晚了几分开始。以此功德得证一切见，击败一切过患之敌众，生老病死杂乱诸波涛，轮回大海，愿度诸众生。祈求上师贵体圣妙康，祈求尊生寿命极长久，祈求事业奇智圆满胜，愿得无离上师其加持。犹如文思书勇士大智慧，复是普贤菩萨如是信，随喜彼等一切我学习此功德等一切尽回向。佛陀三身之得正之加持，法性不变真谛之加持，深切坚固正聚集之加持，如是回向其愿成就。以我以及一切有情众，三世所积善愿以佛性，愿我与等虚空诸众生，速证无上正等觉妙宝，所知遍照遍智法之尊，缘起借助自在子宫八人间八之教法便有记，讲修愿由闻思修持之。殊胜菩提心妙宝，未生其者愿生其，已生其者亦不退，其愿辗转更增上。谢谢各位，星期五见。各位早安。